Hi there, this is AJ with Car Inspected, and today we are in Caledon looking at this 2010 BMW X5 with a 4.8 liter V8 engine, X-Drive, all-wheel drive. It's white in color. The vehicle has been lowered and it has 149,000 kilometers on it. Overall decent condition. It is the kind of got the wide body fender flare look, looks pretty good. Like I said, it has been lowered. I did paint thickness verification throughout, and I don't see any spots of repaint or any major issues like that. I don't see evidence of major collision, any issues. Gaps and everything look nice. Front bumper looks pretty good. It's got your typical rock chips and things like that from driving, but no major issues. This cover is not on the vehicle, but you will see later on that there are two new ones inside the vehicle, so they are present. Glass all looks pretty good. A windshield has been replaced. It is an aftermarket unit, but I don't see any problems with that. It's not cracked or anything like that. Seals look good. Everything looks pretty good. There was a little bit of a dent. I don't know if you can see in the video, a little bit of a dent right here, but not too bad. And a couple of chips here and there. All these flares are all pretty good though. A lot of this that you see is dirt and things of that nature. But for the most part, this all looks pretty decent. A couple of little chips here and there. There is some deeper scratches along this rear door on the passenger side. They're not down to metal, but you can see them. As you come around the back, everything looks pretty decent. No major issues. Rear bumper, it's a little off, a little looser here. And a couple of little rub marks here and there, but nothing, again, too bad. This is where some stickers used to be. I'm sure that will clean off. Rear bumper, all that looks pretty good as well, with no major issues. The bumper is a little off here as well, as you can see. And down the driver's side, we do look pretty good. No issues. Couple of chips, dings, not really dings, just a couple little rock chips here and there. Some spatters of some fly poop or something. A couple of little things here and there, but nothing too bad. Go to wheels and tires. As you can see, the vehicle has been lowered. I don't see any issues with the lowering. It looks pretty decent. Front tires are, this one is a 2015 Pirelli. Decent amount of tread left. I think there was about 730 seconds with no major issues. Little dry rot starting just from age, but nothing too bad. There is a little bit of sidewall damage here. Just the rim saver though. Aftermarket rims look pretty decent. Brakes are pretty new. I'd say there's 95% at least left on them with no issues. As we look underneath, we don't see any major issues either. You'll see extensive photos. Looks like a new axle boot on this side with no other issues present. All looks pretty decent. Come around to the passenger side front. And this tire is a 2015 as well, with about 730 seconds of tread with no major issues. There is a little bit of curb rash along this rim that's been touched up. It's not overly noticeable, and I don't see any structural issues. Again, brakes on this side are pretty new, about 95% or so left with no issues. We look underneath this side. Suspension wise, we don't see any signs of issue, everything good. There is a bit of an oil leak coming from front right bank of the engine. I'll show you that later, but it does come down into here. Undercarriage, everything else looks pretty good. I see no signs of rust or major issue. Transmission looks good. Exhaust looks good. All looks pretty decent. Rear differential, no leaks or any issues like that. And here we are at the back tires. So the rears are 2017s with, again, about 730 seconds of tread, 7 to 8, so they look pretty good. There is some wear on the edge of this right rear tire probably from hitting fender as it's driving from the lowering job, and that is all around. Brakes in the back, car has been sitting for a little bit, but there is not much wear on those rotors. They look pretty decent, and the rear brakes are at about, I'd say, 50% or so. Suspension back here looks decent as well. No signs of issue, no major rust or any issues like that. All looks pretty good. Final wheel, similar to the other side, it's a 2017 with no major issues, about 7/30 seconds or so. And again, a little bit of rub on this one, but not as much as the other one. It's more kind of on the inside a little bit here. Rear brakes, about 50-55% or so. No major issues. And again, suspension all looks pretty good under here as well. All original, no issues that I can see. Down the driver's side, I see no undercarriage issues either. All looks pretty decent. Again, you'll see more photos. We look in the interior, we see typical wear and tear. Nothing bad though. Rear window hatch still opens by itself, opens and closes by itself, just as it should. All this works with no issues. No marks here and there. Carpet looks decent, couple of marks. Underneath the storage compartment is decent as well. No major issues. Tools are not there. And all this is there. You can see a couple of stains on the back of the seats. Nothing crazy though. And some marks on this tailgate as well, and you'll see. Again, this does work just as it should. Door panel, right rear. There are some marks, nicks, rips, whatever you want to call them, in here. Other than that though, everything looks pretty decent. No rust or any issues like that. Rear seats, a little stained here and there. Just typical wear and tear for the age. But everything does work as it should with no major issues. Center console comes down, all looks good with no major issues. Carpets, we do have WeatherTech mats in the vehicle, and carpets underneath look pretty decent. Some marks and dirtiness on the back seat. We do have a DVD player back here and rearward controls. Everything looks decent. It is a panoramic sunroof, which does work and seems fine. The privacy thing on this side is missing, by the way. The tab isn't here, can't go up and down, so that's one thing. Passenger front door panel is decent. Some wear and tear on the normal stuff on the handle there, but everything looks pretty decent otherwise. Seats seem to work, power everything, no issues, everything looks pretty good. Again, WeatherTech mats throughout, and carpet underneath looks decent. Dashboard all looks pretty good. Everything's tight, nothing's loose or anything like that, and nothing is broken or damaged. A couple of marks on this stainless trim, very typical. Go around to the passenger side. And this door panel has some marks, a couple of rip areas, things like that. And there is some fading or touch up at the bottom of this. You see it's a slightly different color there. And some dirt around here, but no major issues. This privacy shade is working and all on set. Carpets look decent on this side as well. A little stain there, nothing too big. And this is pulling out a little bit. Can probably be stuffed back in, but it is pulling out a bit. This side of the seat looks decent as well, no major issues, and everything does work as it should. We get up to the driver's side. This door panel has typical wear and tear, little dirt, little things like this and that. No major issues though. Driver's seat bolster is starting to show its wear and does have that different color dye or touch up or whatever on it, as you can see. Seatbelts have some staining, just general age kind of things, but the power seats do work. WeatherTechs look good with no major. These are unscrewed, that go back in if you want. Dash looks decent. This side as well. Steering wheel, no major wear and tear. It's got the M package trim. All looks pretty decent. Cup holders, everything looks good. Here is those bumper filler pieces. And all these cup holders, everything, again, nothing seems to be broken. or wrecked or anything of that nature. Radio works, air conditioning works, all this stuff works, not broken, no major issues. Screen works. I'll start it up real quick. So it starts right up, seems to run smooth with no issues. Air conditioning is on, that works. Radio. So everything like that does work. This all works as well with no issues. So you can see everything responds, navigation. So all this stuff does work and has no issues. There we go, 149,391 on the kilometers. We'll pop the hood, see what we got under there. No major issues. We do have a new water pump, a new alternator, and a new battery recently done. Seller says within the past probably 1,000 or so kilometers. And you can see the new steel of that water pump. The alternator is down low. We can't really see it, but looks from view it looks good, and the belt looks pretty new as well. So here on this side here, the oil leak is coming from this area. You can see down here. You'll see better. I think I got better photos, but it is coming down from down this area here. Oil does look good. Did a test, no frothing, anything like that. Everything looks nice and clean inside. Regular oil changes, you can tell. And oil, we did an analysis that looks good with a green light on that, so no issues there. Coolant was good. Also apparently pretty new, but it is a little on the lighter side. We got about negative 27 degrees, not the normal 43, but no major issues. Battery is sitting at 13 and charging at 14.6, and brake fluid is good as well. So mechanically, other than that oil leak, I don't see any major issues. Everything seems to be pretty decent. No rust or anything of that nature. Seems to run well. I also did an OBD scan, and I saw no codes present, no codes in the history, and nothing has been recently erased. So computer-wise, OBD-wise, everything is pretty good. The rondelle is a little scraped up here, just from fading. Other than that, it's decent though. So there you go, 2010 BMW X5. As usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.